What's going on, guys? And welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network. Today we're talking the latest episode of WWE Day Of, focusing on WWE in Mexico City late last month. So this did not air on the network. That's important to note. It's actually free on YouTube. It's only a 7-minute long video. That's probably why it went up on YouTube and not the network, just because it wasn't a full-length episode of the show as we've known in the past. Usually they run around 20 to 25 minutes, if not a little less than that. This was like a mini episode of the show, but I figured I would watch it. I was going to watch it anyway, but I figured I would review it because it was really, really good, and it's definitely well worth checking out on the WWE YouTube channel. Now, that's not to say that it won't be on the network at some point. They usually add anything that's WWE related, anything important anyway, from the YouTube channel on their network service eventually, whether it takes a couple days, a week, a month, whatever. It probably will be up on there eventually, but in the meantime, though, you can watch it for free on YouTube. It's only about 7 minutes in length, and again, well worth checking out for the short period of time that it lasts for. So again, this episode of WWE Day Of focuses on the company's tour of Mexico late last month. We're actually told it was recorded on November 30th. And I remember not hearing about it, not just at the time hearing about it, but also well in advance. Because I believe this was the only time Kane wrestled in WWE, aside from the Crown Jewel match back in October on Halloween against Brock Lesnar. So he got to wrestle on this tour. I forgot what the match was. We're not told here in the episode. I think he teamed with Rey Mysterio, I thought. Rey Mysterio said that he lost on this tour. So maybe they did multiple shows, I don't know. But he did wrestle, which was pretty cool. He's actually the one that kicks off this thing. We hear from him who had said, and they also include clips. They included clips from this special in the Chronicle for Rey Mysterio that went out over TLC weekend. And I was wondering if we can get more like in-depth shots and scenes from that tour of Mexico that Rey Mysterio talked about in depth in his Chronicle a couple of weeks ago, and we did, and in a very own episode, and its very own episode of WWE Day Of. But Kane's the first person that we hear from here. He had said that it's always positive energy anytime that he goes to Mexico City. We see fans talking about Cain Velasquez, him wrestling his first match for WWE in Mexico, and how excited they are to see him in action that night. They're also talking about Humberto Carrillo, Rey Mysterio, and various other people, everyone they're excited to see at the show that night. And some of them say it's their first event, and it's probably people like Rey Mysterio and Kane that brought him out to the matches that night, and how important they are to that, Mexican tour. We hear from Rusev, of all people, who said that he loves Mexico, he loves the food, he loves being in Mexico, he loves the people. He always enjoys being in Mexico. He's the only one of the few wrestlers they interview here in this episode of Day Of that's not Latino, that's not Mexican. We also hear from Charlotte Flair after we hear from Andrade. But Andrade introduces his family. We see his cousins, his brothers, his uncles, all of whom were wrestlers. And which I thought was a cool shot. We don't really hear much from Andrade and stuff like this, so I thought that was cool. And he said that he was really happy to be back in Mexico representing them, wrestling in front of his family. Again, we hear from Charlotte, who said that that she loves watching Andrade wrestle in his home country and the pride that it brings him. She also said it's very important to celebrate and enjoy life, and I feel like that's what I love about coming here to Mexico. Mexico apparently holds a very big place in Cain Velasquez's heart. He loves to honor. He feels like it's an honor to wrestle in front of his people in Mexico. Carrillo talks about wrestling in Mexico and on the independents. Also now with WWE and the big, difference it is between wrestling in Mexico as part of the independent scene and now being with WWE and the grand scale that it is and how much that means to him. Rey Mysterio called the whole thing incredible, and how cool it was to wrestle in front of his fans, which he has done many, many times before in Mexico. But it's even, it never gets any less cool for Rey Mysterio to wrestle in Mexico, which is kind of what he emphasizes here. And Carrillo says that expect more surprises from the Latinos and Mexicans here from WWE, and he thanks the fans for their support. He thanks the fans for their support to close this thing out, and that was it. Again, a very short episode of WWE The Day Of, so kind of fumbling over my words here. I got to get going. I thought I would just record a quick review. But I thought this was very good. So again, for the 7 minutes in length that it is, nothing must see. For what it is, though, very enjoyable. Very cool stuff to see Rey Mysterio, Kane, the fans even, Humberto and Andrade all talk about their heritage, how much being in Mexico means to them. The show itself, seeing clips of that show, really made it feel like a big deal. And it would be awesome, honestly, seeing stuff like this, because we get a lot of these day ofs on the pay-per-views and on like the drafts and, like Raw Reunion. I feel like, yeah, we did get one on Raw Reunion, which I think I reviewed here on the channel months ago. We get one for the big events like that. But it would also be cool if we got more stuff like this for house shows overseas and like the bigger house shows. Not like every house show every weekend, but like the ones in Mexico City, the ones in Europe would be cool. I was thinking also, I mean, this is, inside the country, but the day after Christmas, the Madison Square Garden show. At this point, it doesn't matter because it's already come and gone. Maybe for next year, because I saw some footage of it in the Rollins 365, which is why I kind of thought of it. It would be cool to get one of these day of episodes on the the post-Christmas MSG show that they do in New York City every single year because it's such a big show. This year we saw Andrade become the fucking United States champion, so to see stuff like that I think would be cool as well. We get, again, the monthly day ofs with the pay-per-views and whatnot, which is awesome, and I really, really enjoy them, and they're very well done more often than not. But it would be cool to see more stuff like this that's exclusive either to the YouTube channel or just the network or whatever. Focusing on the bigger house shows, the bigger tours like Mexico and Europe, and maybe some of the stuff like the night after Christmas and MSG. So just a thought. But for what this was, though, good stuff. Check it out right now on the WWE YouTube channel. WWE The Day Of, WWE in Mexico City. So be sure to like this video, drop a comment, not the comment, that sounds weird. Share the video, and also subscribe to the channel for more content right here on the channel. We'll be back. This is going up on Sunday. Not sure about Monday. I know there's some new stuff going up on, I believe on Monday before Raw. I know there's the best matches of 2019. Paige is breaking them down on the network. If I have a chance to watch that and put it up on New Year's Eve, I will. And I feel like there's something else airing on Monday. I don't remember what it was. I remember reading something about oh, this is going up on the network on Monday. Maybe a new Table for Three, I don't remember. But either way, a lot of new network content going up and a lot more reviews going up here on the channel in the days and weeks to come. So until next time, guys, have a great rest of your 2019/weekend. First and foremost, I'm Graham G. Matthews. Have a very happy new year, and I'll catch your ass down the road in 2020.